Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler. I'll be leading today's one-on-one webinar, providing an overview of the Pietra Creator Hub, as well as some helpful tips to ensure you're feeling pointed in the right direction. We'll give folks a few minutes to join the webinar and get started momentarily. I'll go ahead and enable the chat so folks can ask questions. I'll try to answer those as we go along. We try to make this webinar really conversational and informal, kind of like office hours. So if anybody has a question about a specific part of the platform, I'll be happy to touch on that. Sometimes people want to focus a little bit more on fulfillment, a little bit more on sourcing. I'll certainly provide an overview, but I want to meet you where you're at. And if anybody is working on a project right now, I would love to hear, what that is, and I'll be happy to tailor our overview to what it is you're working on. All right, I'll get started here in just a minute. Thank you for that. Okay, excellent. Again, thanks everybody for joining. My name is Tyler. I'll be here to provide everybody in this webinar an overview of our Creator Hub and answer any questions that you have. We try to keep this webinar, which is offered weekly, pretty informal. I want to meet you where you're at with your project, so don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. You can go ahead and reach out in the chat, ask Q&A. I have chat enabled now. And if anybody has a project that they're working on right now or a specific part of the website that they would like me to focus on, don't hesitate to ping in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer that question as we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to thank everybody for signing up for this webinar. That shows that you're on the path to launching a product and entrepreneurship. Pietra has a number of tools that can help both new creators and existing brands alike launch new products, scale their brand, reach more customers, fulfill more orders. We really are the one-stop place to help your e-commerce brand be successful. For those of you who are new to the website, we have a number of tiles here that correspond to our primary service offerings. These include sourcing products from vetted manufacturers. So we have a network of about 1,500 manufacturers and factories across the world who can help create samples and production runs of your product. We have a full service 3PL that we operate. It's based in North Carolina. We can take care of all of your order kitting and order fulfillment for you. We'll also offer a Shopify integration as part of that offering. That's all included in any paid membership. We have access to an email list creator, so you can basically scrub your email address traffic, your website traffic for email addresses and any visitors to your site. Retail Connect, Competitor data and hiring influencers are all really valuable marketing tools. I'll touch on those each in detail a little bit later. We have a really cool AI agent that can help you create marketing content that you can share on social media. And we even offer financing if anybody is interested in that. Now, we find that most attendees to this webinar are in the beginning phases. So I'm going to focus most of my time on the steps that are recommended to help you get started and off the ground. This will primarily focus on sourcing and product design. We'll touch on order fulfillment a little bit. And I'm also going to point you to some helpful areas of the platform, such as the Pietra Copilot, that provide a little bit of additional support and direction for you as you're getting started. Question about financing right away. Financing only open to US residents. Yes, it currently is only open to US residents, but don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have a specific project that you are hoping to get financed. We'll be happy to review that as a team. Okay, lots of good questions off the bat here about print on demand. We'll cover that all today. And we can definitely touch on drop shipping. This is a common question we have when it comes to delivering items to your customers. So I'll touch on all of these in just a moment. Okay. So for basic navigation of the site, we have the Pietra home base here. So anytime you want to get back to the home page, just click this Pietra icon in the upper left corner. And then we have our main menu of options here, starting at the home page, sourcing, which I will cover heavily during this webinar. Fulfillment, so after you order items or if you already have inventory stored somewhere, you can send those items to our temperature-controlled warehouse in North Carolina for item storage and order fulfillment. Included in any paid membership is access to a storefront, so this is going to include print on demand as well as wholesale, and this is all included in your membership. Our marketing tools, which I touched on briefly, the email list builder, Retail Connect, and then our Pietra Pulse tools here. Really exciting tools that I would like for everybody with a membership to sign up for within the week. This is a really great way to keep in touch with what is going on in your corner of the market. Analytics, we offer a number of different reports to help you monitor the health of your business. Product ideation, so if anybody is looking for help landing on a specific design for your product, this is the section to be. We have a ton of education resources. Our Copilot here is an AI agent that really walks you through the steps that you should take. So in addition to providing live human support on this webinar and via our chat team here, the AI can be a helpful tool. And then we also offer rewards points, which you can use toward future purchases on the platform. Okay, your account menu is going to be down here. Anytime you want to change your plan, you can hover over that menu there and go through that flow if you wanted to upgrade to maybe a business plan or something else. Okay. So there are a couple of really important milestones that anybody who wants to launch a business should cover. And those include, first and foremost, activating your Pietra Copilot. So if anybody is just visiting Pietra for the first time, I would encourage you to browse the Pietra Copilot and just start letting it do its work. So these are AI agents here that are going to enable you to connect with suppliers in your corner of the market. So for example, I'm focused on selling men's fitness apparel, men's gym apparel with this shop. If you provide this information to the Pietra Copilot, it's already going to start searching our 1,500 plus factory network for vetted suppliers who can make these items for you. And we can really quickly start chatting with them. And it's already taken me to my inbox page where I can begin having conversations with suppliers about potential projects that could be a good fit for me. Okay, so there's one takeaway from this for anybody who is really new to Pietra. It is to visit the Copilot page and do some research on your own and start chatting with suppliers. Now, some folks might join us and they might have a general idea of what it is they want to begin producing and selling. So for example, here, I mentioned selling gym apparel. Now, gym apparel is a pretty broad category, right? I might have some general ideas of what I want to produce, but I might not have a refined design yet. That's going to be where our product ideation section comes in handy. So this is an AI generative design studio that includes a number of template designs. You can use a gallery of items, which are basically samples that are shared from our factory catalogs. Any of the creations you create are automatically going to be saved here. And then we have our labs here, which are image generations to generate variations of the product that you might create. Okay, so I'm going to use my gym apparel example throughout the whole webinar here. So I'm going to imagine I want to create some shorts. Okay, and you can see here we have a number of different merchandise categories. We definitely do apparel, but we do other categories too. So for anybody who's interested in jewelry, candles, skincare, and beyond, we definitely have factories who can help you out. Looking at men's apparel, and again, thinking about this in terms of the product I want to create, these are going to be template versions that I can customize from here and chat with suppliers about. So I'm focused on finding a pair of shorts that I can identify as a really good template for me to share with a potential supplier. And I'm going to use our AI design studio to create an image that I can share with them. Okay, so right now, men's athletic shorts, knee length, red with white waistband. Okay, and whatever your product idea is, you can provide that prompt to the software, and we're going to generate some images for you here. Okay, now this is included in any level of paid membership with Pietra. You'll be able to generate product images and iterate on these designs. And if you think about the goal here, the goal is to eventually come up with a starting point that you can share in the form of an image with a supplier who can make this item for you. And likely they'll produce a sample, and you can review the quality of that sample for a production run. Okay, so I got a pretty nice image here. I like this one. And once I have this image, I can do things like provide measurements. Say I want this to be 12 inches high. And I'm looking for, oops, say a 7-inch inseam. Really any customizations or any notes you want to communicate can be done in this part of the design studio. So quick takeaway is to browse the design studio or provide it a prompt, have some fun refining your design. And then eventually, when you find an image of a product that you're satisfied with, the software is going to suggest a number of suppliers who we think could do a good job producing your item. And all you have to do is click work with supplier, and that will start another supplier chat with them. Okay. I will pause here for any questions related to the design studio specifically. Again, a lot of information here. Have some fun with it. All of your designs will save automatically. And you can use the information from this image to connect with suppliers, or you can even submit a custom product request, which will basically pull up this form and allow you to describe your project, share images, define whether you want something that's more readily available or more custom, and then you can push that project idea out to a number of suppliers at once. So we have a couple of different ways to connect with suppliers. basically through the suggested suppliers here by submitting a custom project request, or in just a minute, I'll show you another option. Again, we have the custom project request here, or you can browse through the supplier network and find a supplier that way. Really good question here from Nicole about uploading a CAD design to find a factory supplier. Yes, you definitely can. And the way that you would do that would be by visiting the product design studio, and you can start with a reference image and upload that. And you can also share the CAD designs, or even if you have a tech pack ready, with your supplier directly. And all of that's going to be done in your supplier inbox. Okay, so you can see I have these couple of chats here. Pietra recommended that I reach out to you. I'd love to work together on manufacturing product, my gym apparel. What information do you need for me to get started? So this is a message that Pietra generated on my behalf, the N Palacio shop. And then if you wanted to, you could just upload the CAD design or tech pack here. And then you can even request a video meeting if you want to have an in-depth discussion with your supplier after you've hit things off. Another question about getting help from a potential supplier and refining the product design. Great question. So there are a couple of ways to go about this. And just to orient us one more time, I'm here on the sourcing menu, and I'm on the sourcing homepage. So there are a couple of ways that you could refine your design. You can either discuss the project with the supplier directly, and they might have some sample items that can be customized, or that might actually work for your project if you wanted to keep things a little bit lower on the budget side of things. Alternatively, we also offer freelancers on our site who can help you with design. So Pietra doesn't provide design services directly, but just like we offer access to the supplier network in the form of factories, we have freelancers here who can help you design your tech pack if that's what you want, help with logo design, packaging, etc. So that is something that's definitely available on the site. It's not something that Pietra would provide directly, and it's something that you could discuss with your supplier. It's just a matter of how polished and professional you want that design to be. Okay, I mentioned that we have a couple of ways to connect with suppliers. So now I'm on the sourcing homepage here. And in addition to submitting a design file or submitting a custom project request where you describe your project, we've kind of built a mini social network here, kind of like a Facebook for factories. And you can see here we have suggested a couple of factories based on the product category I said I wanted to make, but you can also browse the sourcing homepage here for a supplier who might be a good fit for you. And I would recommend anybody here who is new to sourcing to just spend an afternoon, if you can, browsing these pages and getting yourself familiar with a couple of suppliers. And if any of them speak to you, like Holly Active is looking pretty good to me now, just go ahead and click and browse their page for samples that could be a good fit. This double layer quick dry shorts might be good for my fitness line. These sports shorts here, they describe themselves. Their supplier profile page says where they're based. We have a number of factories across Asia, as well as the United States and Latin America and Europe. These reviews, and these are real reviews, and all these numbers are based on past projects completed with Pietra. Sometimes they even share some notable past projects and customers that they have had. Okay. We also allow you to speak with an unlimited number of suppliers. So if you're working on a couple of projects simultaneously, let's say I'm working on athletic shorts, but I'm also working on maybe a yoga mat or something like that, you can communicate with a number of different suppliers at the same time. And if you wanted to, you can even tag your suppliers by project category or product category right here. Okay. Now, any supplier who you're excited to work with should respond to you. All communication should remain in the inbox. Again, sometimes video calls will make sense, It really depends on what the project is. But my advice to folks who are finding a supplier is just a couple of simple things. Number one, confirm your design before moving forward. I don't think it's good to move forward with an AI generated prompt yet. I think you should definitely discuss the details of your project um, before moving forward. And also, just when you're chatting with suppliers, treat it like a job interview. Ideally, you are getting all your questions answered. They're very responsive, and this is a partner that you're excited to work with. Ideally, this becomes a long-term partnership that you and the supplier will continue for a long time into the future. And ideally, you're ordering multiple production runs from them. Um, just keep in mind, this is one thing that distinguishes us from Alibaba as well, is all of our suppliers are vetted. So we have a supplier management team that is regularly training and checking in with our supplier network and making sure that they can actually complete the projects that they say they can make on their pages here. Okay. Take a moment to answer some additional questions. Lots of good questions today. So Kenny asked how to access free samples that are included in my membership. So uh, whenever you purchase a sample from a supplier, you will have to pay for that sample. So free samples are not necessarily included in the membership, but what you do get is access to the full network of suppliers, and you can have as many conversations as you want. You and the supplier will determine the price of the sample. That'll always appear in the inbox. And then when they generate an invoice, that'll appear over here, and you can pay it directly on the Pietra website as well. But free merchandise, free samples are not included in the membership. That's going to be an additional cost beyond the price of the membership. Then another good question about the sourcing concierge. So yes, we do have a sourcing concierge, and basically what this team exists to do is to point you in the right direction toward a supplier who's a good fit. This is a service that is generally offered to our Pietra Business tier members. With Pietra Business, you get access to scheduling on-demand calls with experts across our lines of business, including sourcing. So if you go with the sourcing concierge, they will definitely recommend suppliers. You'll manage those conversations and the details of your project. However, we do offer an additional service tier that we call managed service. This is typically something that makes more sense for existing brands. But with that offering, we will manage all of your supplier communications for you, hand select the supplier, and make sure that the project is completed to your liking. Those plans typically start for about $2,000 a month with a 3 to 6 month contract. And if anybody is interested in that, please let me know, and I'll definitely connect you with the right team to discuss next steps. Um, so there's a question about 10x monthly product design credits. So that basically means you get 10 runs of product design with your membership. I'm guessing that appeared in maybe the right here. Yeah, so that basically means you get 10 attempts at creating a product design in our design studio. Yes, it does refer to the AI tools. Okay. And Kenny, thanks for clarifying. So we at one point ran a promotion for free shipping of samples last summer. Right now, I don't believe that we're offering free shipping for samples. Shipping costs for any items that you're ordering can be discussed with your supplier directly. All right. Okay. I am going to take a look at that question, Kenny. Um, and we're going to move forward. Okay. So lots of good questions about print on demand. So Pietra offers a print on demand studio. And basically with print on demand, this is a great way to keep your costs low, and you can customize a number of blanks and kind of template apparel items to include your logo or make some, light customization on some standard items. Okay. So one benefit of print on demand here is going to be that it's low cost and you will not pay for the items until they're actually ordered. Um, that said, it's a little bit less customization, whereas with ordering samples and ordering a production run from a supplier, you'll have full control over the product. Okay. With print on demand, it's similar to our design studio where you kind of enter into the item and you can upload whether it's your logo or a specific design that you want. You'll submit that, and then whenever you receive an order, our team will automatically create that item and ship it to your customer. And included in your membership is access to this storefront. So after you've created a couple of designs, you'll have a free Pietra shop. It's pretty templatized, pretty standardized, but all of your print on demand items will be listed here. Good question from B. Is print on demand separate from the membership? So you have access to print on demand, but you will, of course, pay for any print on demand items that you order. But everything I'm showing you here is included in your membership. And the print on demand shop works by basically providing you this pietra.store URL. And any products that you create will be listed as product listings here. And you can decide which items you want to list. This one's not live. Let me see if I can make a live one quickly. And they'll basically appear as products in this website here. And yes, you set the selling price yourself. Okay. So very simple. We try to make this as quick as possible. Provide you a product description, size options, and variants where you can set your price. Save item. And the item has been created. Okay, so we can enable a user to set up a print on demand shop, as you saw just now, in about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So I've covered a lot in terms of order sourcing or item sourcing and print on demand. Lots of information here. I would strongly encourage everybody to browse on your own time. And let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Lots of really good questions today. Let me show an example of an actual Pietra storefront in use. Yes, of course I can. Just give me one moment here. And quick answer to Deanne's question, what about setting up the cart? That's automatic for you. Um, we will set up your checkout, and then whenever your customer checks out, they will just provide their payment information, and then Pietra processes the payouts weekly to you, net of any fees that we take. Okay. And let's see. All right, so here's an example of a store that's currently live. A lot of her products are sold out. Some of them are not. If I was interested in buying this item, it's just like any other online store. Really simple checkout. Yes, this is a Pietra customer that already has the store in use. This is a real store. Is that helping with your question, Nicole? Good question, Peter. You cannot use a custom domain for your store. And then a couple questions. Can we embed this storefront on another website? Yes, you can share this URL on any website and it will direct you back here. There's not a lot of customization you can make when it comes to changing the configuration of the store. You can basically toggle on and off or enable or disable items, but this is really what is included in your membership. Okay, but Lively Ghost is a Pietra customer. We have worked with Lindsay for several years. We do all of her order fulfillment. We help her with sourcing. Really good example of a real Pietra customer here. Pietra stores cannot enable A/B testing. And can Pietra enable international sellers to sell in the States? Most definitely. We work with a number of brands that are based abroad. The most important consideration, I would say, is if you are using us for order fulfillment and a lot of your orders will be going to Europe, just be mindful of paying customs and duties when goods go in and out of the United States. But we work with a number of international brands, including Australia. There's a brand called Grin Naturals that we work with based in Australia and New Zealand. And they sell non-fluoride toothpaste and a lot of oral care items. So we definitely work with international companies. Yeah, so difference between having a print-on-demand store versus wholesale. So print-on-demand store would most likely be applicable to retail sales. So if actual consumers are finding your site and trying to buy one item, wholesale is more typically applicable to an existing business that might have, say, franchises who they want to provide wholesale deliveries to. And that store is typically private because you wouldn't want the general public to have access to that kind of pricing. But they function the same way, where the customer checks out and we ship your items from our warehouse. Okay, yes, a couple good questions about fulfillment. And a couple more questions about storefronts, which is good. I think I answered the one you cannot put your custom domain to a store. And do people link other websites or Instagram accounts to Pietra storefronts? We generally don't have a place to link Instagram accounts on this storefront. What I would say most of our customers do, and I think this is a really good segue to fulfillment, is they will have a Shopify store, which is much, much more customizable and kind of the gold standard for small e-commerce brands. And then they will link Pietra as a fulfillment partner to their Shopify store. So does anybody here have a Shopify store? Okay. Opening one, that's great. Kenny, it sounds like has one. Oh, great. And Alon, it sounds like you are already in process with Olivia. I will send her a message right now. Okay, excellent. So lots of good questions today. I will do my best to answer these in the 10 minutes or so we have left. And also, we have a ton of additional resources here in our education center. We have specific webinars that discuss product design, sourcing, storage, and yes, dropshipping is the next topic I'm going to cover here. Okay. And Deanne, if you have your own e-commerce site, that is great. If it's on Wix or WooCommerce or Shopify, we can definitely integrate your order fulfillment if you want to use this as a fulfillment partner. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about fulfillment. Okay. So just to kind of ground ourselves here and orient ourselves. We've talked quite a bit about sourcing already and the importance of creating a design to connect with suppliers. And we've also touched on a little bit on our marketing tools. Okay, I'm going to circle back to this in our last couple of minutes here, but I want everybody to imagine they've found a supplier who they're excited to work with, and they are moving forward with ordering a production run to sell. Okay, so this is going to be outside of the print on demand world. Lots of good questions on print on demand here, but I want us to focus on sourcing from a supplier and figuring out what to do with that production run. Okay, and this will apply whether you are a US based company or whether you have worked with drop shippers before. Okay, so Pietra is not a drop shipping company. And when I hear the term drop shipping, I think of something really specific, which is that with drop shipping, the factory that produces your items is shipping your items to your end customer. Pietra uses a much different, more hands-on model, which is that we operate a temperature-controlled warehouse and full-service 3PL, third-party logistics company, based in North Carolina. Okay, so rather than having the factory ship a single item to your customer if they order one, what you're going to do is order inventory from a factory or supplier, and you're going to have that inventory either sent to you to store and yourself and fulfill your own orders, or you can send your items to Pietra and we can store them for you. And as Elon is working through right now, we can integrate with your Shopify site and automatically fulfill your orders for you. Okay, so this is a pretty full service that we're offering here that's included in your membership. Now, our full pricing for this is here. Just like any other 3PL, we're going to charge you a small fee to fulfill your orders, and all of those fees are listed here. But really, for those who are maybe launching their first product, the ins and outs of fulfillment are maybe a little bit beyond the scope of what we should discuss today. But I would encourage everybody who has maybe done a print on demand or drop shipping, maybe with Alibaba before or Shein or some other similar marketplace, is to think about ordering a production run of a variety of variations, products, sizes, etc., and having Pietra store that for you. Okay, so I'll pause there. Does that distinction between drop shipping and what we're offering make sense to anybody with questions about drop shipping? Okay, great. And then I had a specific question here about having part of the merchandise routed to the 3PL in the US and another part routed to another 3PL. Yes, that's definitely possible. And that's something that you should discuss with your supplier directly when you get into the details of what your order is going to consist of. Okay, so if you ordered maybe 3 cases of a specific item, they might be able to send one to Pietra in the US and one to, let's say you're in Europe or somewhere like that. Some good questions. How big will the inventory have to be? So the MOQ, minimum order quantity, is determined by your supplier. Pietra does not have limits in terms of how much inventory you have to send with us. So that's one advantage of working with Pietra, is that we, can help out some of these upstart brands here. We've had creators join our fulfillment center with as few as 4 SKU variants of 2 different products, right? So a black t-shirt, a white t-shirt, extra small through extra large. So that could be about 100 pieces in total. Okay. Excellent. Any other questions about fulfillment here? Lots of good questions today. I like this group. Great. Some questions about navigation here, and I appreciate you asking that question because we move pretty quickly through these sections. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, if you ever need to get back to the home page, just click on this logo in the upper left corner, and there are a couple of ways to access the fulfillment section. You can either click here, or you can click on this tile, and this will pull up our fulfillment page, which includes the rate card. So if you wanted to get a breakdown of your pricing, if you already have a Shopify store and you're ready to get connected, you just click this link and provide the information to us. In addition to being able to take in the inventory and process your orders, we'll provide you full visibility into order fulfillment. You'll set up your products with us. A receiving is basically an inbound shipment to Pietra that you'll need to outline, or your supplier will do it for you. So we can properly receive the items, and we even have an automated returns feature that integrates with Shopify. Okay, great. Okay. So just to summarize one more time, key to-dos for those of you just getting started are to confirm the product that you want to make, either through our product design tool or by working with an external designer or designing your own tech pack, finding a supplier, or at least a couple of suppliers actually, who you're excited to talk with and order samples from them. And then eventually you will find the right supplier and order a production run and decide if you want to work with Pietra for order fulfillment or if you want to handle that part yourself. Okay. In addition to sourcing a product and shipping orders, there are a couple of other important services that Pietra offers, and these are really included in your membership here. So I would strongly encourage everybody to sign up for Pietra Pulse and just enjoy all of the features there. And when you sign up for Pulse, which takes about 5 minutes or less, it will ask you what your website URL is. So in order to do this, you do need to have a website. And what Pietra Pulse does is it monitors conversations happening on Reddit, on social media. You can monitor your competitors. You can monitor certain hashtags, subreddit threads, and we will basically gather that information and introduce you to content and potential influencers who you could partner with to sell more product or do a partnership with. You could potentially send them an influencer box if you wanted to go that direction. So basically, we want to enable you to connect with more individuals and brands who are in your corner of the market. Okay, pretty powerful tool. It's an AI agent. we're very much invested in providing these tools as part of our membership. And if there was, one thing besides ordering a product I would encourage everybody to do, it would be to sign up for Pietra Pulse, before the end of the day if you have a website. Okay. So that's what Pietra Pulse does. Also included in a paid membership is our email list builder, which basically allows you, if you're in the United States, to gather a list of visitors to your site to help you create a marketing email list so you can keep in contact with those folks. With the beginner membership, or the essentials membership rather, you'll get up to 500 emails included in your membership. And after that, we'll ask if you want to upgrade. The business membership, which is our full membership, basically provides you unlimited emails. Okay, so if, for example, you started out with the essentials membership and you collected 500 emails, the website would ask you if you wanted to upgrade. Otherwise, you would hit a ceiling there. Okay. And lastly, Retail Connect, another tool that is included in your membership, can basically allow you as the brand owner to find potential brick and mortar stores who could be high quality partners for you, and you can contact them and potentially, partner with them to sell your products in their stores. Also included in any paid membership. A little bit beyond the scope of kind of a beginner webinar, but I do want to touch on these features because they are all included in your membership, and I want to make sure that you're aware that you can use them. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. I'm a couple minutes over. Really appreciate everybody's time, and really appreciate the conversation in the chat and good questions today. Have a good day, everybody.